Welcome to my humble abode. I'm Buckley Tail Spinner, and this is Tales Over Coffee. Where we start the day with a cup of coffee and a narrative game in the hope of welcoming a blessed day. Turn now to harmony and Heart of Reverie. Okay, it's gone too far. It's time to take a stand. Alright, breaking free. Sometimes a small group can bring about major change. But it wasn't enough.
Oxion civilization collapsed after a few decades. All that was left were some musty books and ruins. The tyrant destroyed the rest, but the Oracle and their followers were safe. They found a corner of Athena to call home. A space where the tyrant's influence was weak. They created their own way of life and lived in peace.
The words stop and I feel the rest of my breath leave my body. Cloud seemed satisfied. It wasn't a happy ending, but neither was it entirely bad.
Great! So, what? This Oracle and their cultists just left the rest to hang?
Nicely said, Jade.
My thoughts precisely.
And they thought this tyrant would just let them be. Let me guess. That didn't happen?
But wait. Change is a long-term process, right? You told me that.
Sure.
So how do you enact long-term change if there's no one around to, actually change things? That dictator guy, long gone. Consigned to the history books. How many people here have even heard of him?
No one raises their hand.
What if that's because of the seeds the Oracle planted? Planted on their own terms?
Jade sighs and rubs her forehead. Expecting resistance. But when she looks up, there's a light in her eyes.
Yeah, maybe you're right. So go on then. Which aspiration are you going to choose? Who becomes the heart?
I'm too tired for this right now. But it looks like the crowd isn't, and the gathered people seem to have an opinion. And we have a choice. We could not do bond. We could not do power, and I wouldn't want to. We could do bond. This is quite humbling, to be honest. We could do truth. I have been chosen many times. I am suited to the role. We could not do chaos. We could do glory. I have a lot to make amends for, and revenge's sake. Or we could do bliss. For real? Wow, let's dive in. The enthusiasm, the joy, love, the life, the joie de vivre. There's only been one it could be all along, isn't there? This. Nora answers immediately.
It's gotta be bliss. I mean, surely, the embodiment of happiness in charge of, fate? Hard to see any other option beating that.
Some of the gathered crowd agrees, beaming.
Oh, stop it. That's so nice. I'm almost never chosen to be the heart. Loads of oracles thought happiness was, I don't know, too easy. That there was some greater purpose for the heart. Beyond making sure everyone was living their best life. That the heart had to be serious or political. But that's not right, is it? All the tech and politics and systems and life. What's it about if not just being happy?
Prosperous. But not financially. Prosperous in the heart, the mind, soul, body. True happiness. Not just hedonism. I relay her words to Nora and the crowd. A lot of them agree with her. What is life if not for the search of happiness? We could do truth. The gathered people talk among themselves. They've heard the tales of different aspirations, their traits, and what they stand for. Wild is an overriding favourite. Glory.
Well.
Oh, glory.
Even I wasn't expecting that.
There's a discussion about MK and about how the majority of its workers come from Athena. They use glory just like they use the populace of this very island. Promise them the world, then entrap them within the system. Glory's there among the crowd. When they're done, she speaks to me.
Look, you know as well as I do that I've made mistakes in the past. But progress is my whole vibe, darling. Reconstruction, rebuilding, forward, forward, forward.
The glory, not just of self, but of your people, your nation, the world even. Prosperity, where all benefit.
Before the whole mess with the egregor, this world had never known such rapid advancement in, well, everything. But I'm always the first to recognize my own shortcomings. Well, second or third, at least. Materialism is part and parcel of my gifts. Glory, the idea of it, does also tend to promote a certain self-centered outlook on life.
At least she's honest. I relay her words to the crowd. A large portion thinks a little selfishness is more than worth it for progress glory would bring. Truth. Another option. Omar steps forward.
I dedicated my whole life to the pursuit of truth. Historical truth. Emotional truth. Philosophical truth. So, I think you can see where my preferences lie here.
Some of the gathered crowd nod sagely in response.
I would certainly be a valid choice. Many of your kind, like this young man, are naturally drawn to me. But this is often because they believe I know your kind better than you know yourselves. Regardless, in previous eras where I took the position of heart, learning increased. Knowledge flourished. So too did religion. The institutional search for the greater truth. Systemic institutions grew in power. Governments, religious authorities, educational systems. But the truth is nothing if not rigid, immovable, definite. Truth does not mean equality. It means serving a greater purpose.
A different form of prosperity. Prosperity of the mind, in all forms of knowledge, which may not lead to equality, but may lead to everyone growing greater. If everyone is equal, but everyone is equal in suffering, is that better than some being truly, truly wealthy, and others being very wealthy compared to those equal in suffering? It's a thought. And the other is Bond. The prescience in the crowd immediately starts to whisper a single name. Bond. Nora obviously sees my ears perk up.
Connection, empathy. Yeah. I think Bond would have been Grandpa's choice too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
It has been a long, long time since I was elected Heart. Maybe because humans often associate kindness and understanding with weakness and frailty. But when I am placed at the center of reverie, connections are made. Art, creativity, trade, all flourish. Eras under my guidance often see the growth of incredible civilizations. But often, these cultures would grow cruel and overwhelming. When expansion required it, colonization often came. I will never get used to the duality of your kind. Capable of such incredible empathy and such cold devastation.
Another form of prosperity. The prosperity that comes when you embrace those around you. The prosperity of brotherhood, sisterhood. Prosperity of community. But as he said, that community can override others' terrible ways. I relays words to the crowd. Many agree, and despite the potential downsides, think Bond is still the best choice. We cannot turn to power. We cannot turn to chaos. And we have not done a secret, so we cannot do that. My own story taught me a thing or two. And with that, my story ends, or it concludes for now at least. It's late, people are tired, they begin to drift back to the naiads to sleep. I hear my story repeated in different voices, all across the beach, in discussions and debates, some arguments even. For me, it clarified things, like the decision I'll have to make. I stifle a yawn and make my excuses, the few remain. All that can wait until tomorrow. Chapter. And we are at the final chapter of the final act, I believe. Give name to the nameless. On the edges of fate, today's the day. Holly's room. Birdsong streams into my room. I open my eyes to sunlight, morning. And immediately I'm overwhelmed by intrusive thoughts. The state of Athena, the aspirations, choices I made. Laszlo. I push the thoughts aside as I head to the shower. The least I can do is approach the day feeling good about myself. When I'm done, I head to the main building. My thoughts are more ordered now, at least, but there's still a lot of them running through my head. I hear the warble of someone's trivid, a news report, Ursula's lawsuit against MK. The reason we've all been so on edge. Been dismissed. Out of hand. I catch some fragments of the judgment. Insufficient this, inconclusive that. I'm already so overwhelmed by the weight of the world that it barely registers. So much has happened in such a short period. Even during the downtime, I still never really got a handle on it all. I look over Laszlo's garden. Someone is tending the plants there. I don't recognize them. The kitchen is full of people coming and going, just like it was in the old days. But now I hardly know any of these people here. It feels good to have the naiads busy, but I miss waking to the sound of Laszlo's coffee machine, to Nora's laugh. Ursula isn't here either. This was where it all started, when I found the necklace and the new world that came with it. I take a deep breath, taking in the aromas of my childhood, now tinged with so much more than nostalgia. This is it then, the end of the story, or at least a pause. My options seem so overwhelming. Then I hear it, a hum, a buzz, a soft voice. Same voice that called me, that led me to the necklace over a month ago. But this isn't the necklace, it's below me. I can sense it now. I close my eyes and I'm back at the lake. It is real, right below the naiads. Makes sense, it explains why this place is so important to us all. And no one knows, no one but me. I have changed, I'm a different person. I feel charged with a new energy, renewed. We cannot go that way, we are going this way. Standard future. I need to see things more clearly, no matter what it takes. Whatever lies ahead, I can't shake the feeling that I need more clarity, more control. And there's only one place I can find it. Nexus. Once I thought this place might become a second home, now it only reminds me of everything that's happened. There's still a deep feeling of history, however, as if merely existing here is trespassing on sacred ground. I suppose in a way it is.
Don't even know what I'm doing here.
Sure you do, Sprout.
I can't help but smile as Bliss walks curiously about the
The
place.
Augural. It's not enough. Not anymore.
And with all the egregor you've gathered up, you're gonna supercharge it.
I think so. It might allow me to change things. change the future. How do I know this?
Part of every oracle is of reverie. Your subconscious is linked to us aspirations, and the sum total of our knowledge. Egregor is our source of power, just as it is the Orgrels. But no one has ever risked exposing themselves to such an amount.
There's no disapproval in Truth's voice, just cold reality.
But will it work?
Yes, but not perhaps in the manner you expect. You will become one with time itself. Your presence on this plane will bend in ways even I cannot foresee.
Days will feel like seconds, months like hours, years like... well, you get the idea.
And back here? In reality? I don't want the others to worry.
To them, you will be present and absent. There, but not there.
Like a cat in a box.
Remember what I told you way back when we met?
Floating air.
Try not to think about it too much.
I don't.
I concentrate in a pool of egregore shimmers under an unseen light before me. I know what I have to do. Or I can think twice and take a deep breath and dive head first into the iridescent blue. I'm dead, I must be. I'm floating in a void bereft of feeling. But no, I'm still here, alive, and I can feel the power I so desperately sought. I see places where I am not, through the eyes of people I know. I see the world as if through compound eyes, each angle a new vision of reality. I see... Only Bliss's path is completed. Truth is ready. Locked. Ah, only Bliss. As I said, only Bliss is free to move. Bliss is thankful. So happy you brought me with you. How perfectly splendid. Doesn't that sound like something Truth would say? This influence is strong enough. This node is inevitable. Must be played to unlock the other nodes. I can feel someone calling me through the veil, willing to help me down this torturous road. It's Bliss. Bliss's unbreakable egg. Suddenly her sanctuary fills my eyes. Am I here, or am I simply seeing here? I don't know, and by the look of her face, neither does she.
Wow, it worked then. Nice trick.
What trick?
You're here, but you're not here. Like we're on a video call in Reverie. It's neat.
I needed to see further ahead than the Orgrel would allow. And...
yeah, mission accomplished by the looks of it. Right, there isn't much time. I just wanted to tell you, I'm here.
Glad to walk with you, Bliss.
For you. All of you. Humanity, I guess. I want to make a world where everyone's happy. Where joy's the name of the game.
it sounds so... simple.
Sounds like even.
It is. I mean, it could be.
My final choice is just around the corner, and if I choose Bliss, well...
I'll show you what I can do.
Else is lost. Time and self dissolve. I'm starting to see further than before. The voice has faded and replaced by images of places. Bettina, my home. A young woman buys groceries from a store, waving to the owner as she leaves. As she walks, she notices a camera scanning her face. The MK logo on its side. I see two teams of children playing football. The ball soars through the narrowly missing through the air, narrowly missing a drone. It flashes a message: the child has been found. MK operatives will visit her parents soon. I see a man at work on a computer, his fingers typing a dance across the keyboard. He writes a story of hero overcoming oppression of a villainous organization named Mono Konzern. Every image I see, every flash of every reality, MK is there. I can feel the butterfly flapping its wings and the storm front changing course. I can feel it all. Chaos butterfly flaps its wings in Brazil, starts a hurricane in Kansas. Or something like that. It will all begin here, in the eye of the storm where everything is still. The images begin to fade, or rather they are refocused. They all orbit a single location. Center of the futures streaming out from this moment. Naiads. This is the locus of all things, Brittle, Reverie, Alma, and MK. I feel my hands, or the sensation of forces I choose to call my hands, reach out. Begin to shepherd the futures. Shape them into a wave that will wash MK and its plans away. Isolated and precarious. As the aspirations to protect the Naiads and MK made us feel small. Things won't be any easier. After recent events, the Naiads is a shadow of its former glory. It's isolated, ostracized. Money required for its upkeep is gone.
And that was the last of the coffee.
Well, that's it then. Might as well give it all up.
Shower's leaking too. And the toilet.
What are we gonna do?
It feels like such a trifling thing from this perspective, money. Trifling or not, without it the Naiads will die. We have two possibilities, Yana's connections or Ursula's acquaintance. Turns to Yana, we've kept her in the wings. Let's have her act. Know a lot of their former colleagues don't like what MK's doing. I reach out and shape the future I wish to bring about. Begins with Yana. At great personal risk, they return to their old workplace. They greet an old friend on their lunch break. They talk of life. Thought you were fired. I was, they reply. Bit by bit, inch by inch, a network's formed. Disgruntled workers mistreat the staff, those held captive by non-disclosure agreements and sponsored visas. Informants, whistleblowers, double agents. The information flows. And there's connections. Oh, we've done that. Days, nights, weeks. I can see further than before. I feel time accelerated before my eyes. I laugh as the world spools forward at high speed, little figures dancing like puppets. My laughter quickly fades. I see MK's reach expand. They recover quickly from the events of the last few weeks, emboldened, out for blood. Atina. I see houses, repossessed families thrown out onto the streets. I see communities devastated by disappearances. I see police brutality. I see how it is ignored and covered up. I see the fake news and sensationalism. I see a fleet of drones blocking out the sun's rays. Still I work. Network outage. MK delivers a punch to the gut. Eventually, MK grows bold enough to act more directly. Electricity, water, internet, they control it all. Only by their grace are neighborhoods heated, watered, connected. Now that privilege is revoked from those who it deems a threat. Alma is severed from the network. All the networks. Cauterized like a rotten limb.
Okay, I checked. It's not just us. It's Alma. The whole neighborhood. No water, no power, nothing.
Wait, they can't do that. Can they do that?
Legally, no. They can't. Which means...
Which means they're no longer operating under the rule of law.
Yes. MK's internal conflict. Yana trusted their contacts. A few days after the shut-off, nothing has been done. There was dissent and outages from the residents, but the media looked away and the police refused to intervene. MK grows in confidence.
Everyone's talking about it.
In your network?
Yeah, there's been a shift. The hardliners have performed a soft coup. Anyone in the upper echelons of management that opposed the shutoffs have been replaced.
Soon the official reasons come out. An error in our land records, they claim. A long-standing oversight. The next day they claim the Naiads as their own. Unless your family's peace of mind is important. Heightened security. Anger begins to mount, but also fear, a siege mentality. The Naiads won't be surrendered without a fight. Camera mounts appear about the Naiads' grounds. Digitalized cover every scrap of ground.
Grandpa bought a bunch for the bar a few years back. Found the guy's number, practically begged me to take them.
Yeah, this'll do nicely. Top of the line system. Anyone comes at us, we'll know.
Okay, I assume you've got your own electricity generated. Or really good batteries. An area of the pool is sectioned off from the others. It becomes a security station, collating the feeds. People take turns watching the screens, Ursula, then Nora, then Jade. Alma is sinking. They'll hold everyone hostage. The entire island of Athena feels the effects of MK's actions. Some more than others, and it caused problems for MK too, but the message came through loud and clear. MK is Athena. Without services, without networks, without support, Alma starts to wither on the vine. Children go to bed cold and hungry. The adults fear for the future. Day after day, people rush to the beach en masse. The rolling waves have become the only way to stay clean and sanitary. A smell wafts through the streets. Decay. All is lost is locked, I believe. Fuel to the fire. It's the oldest trick in the book. Create the problem, present the solution. Be the villain to become the hero. MK starts handing out vouchers, free accommodation, hot showers, food, and shelter. The people flock to these new poor houses. Some end up temporarily barracked in the very same apartments they were evicted from. But even so, pro-MK sentiments grow bit by bit.
A group of Prescients just left.
Please don't tell me they...
There's a new temporary accommodation center over at the old cinema. Hot food, beds, heat.
Damn. Of all people, they should know better. They should have seen.
They do. They have. They don't care. They know we can't provide. Maybe they thought they were doing us a favor, reducing the mouths we have to feed.
It's hard to look a gift horse in the mouth when it's the only thing standing between your children and starvation. The aspirations look over the situation with concern. Dreams of care. Bliss and Bond meet to discuss the suffering. They embrace and talk for hours. Eventually they come together in agreement. They will send pleasant dreams to the population. Islands of calm amid the storm. And that's helpful, but not what they really need right now. A sense of peace falls across Alma, taut and fragile, but there. The people are still downtrodden, but at least now they awaken each morning refreshed. Dreams of justice. Bond and truth will send people dreams to help them get through. Truth and Bond are especially affected. They meet to discuss the situation and form an accord. Send people dreams of justice, stories of right and wrong, islands of clarity amid the storm. People awake refreshed and reinvigorated. Still downtrodden, but now they awake each morning with a sense of purpose. Calm, purpose, refreshment, dreams of freedom. With the last message of its connection to Reverie, MK pushes back. Its new advertising campaign is ruthlessly effective, targeting those ground down by constant unrest. Remember how easy life used to be, it says. Remember when things were good. It works. At first. But the campaign pushes power and chaos, the most unlikely of alloys, to breaking point. Together they send people visions of chaotic freedom, enforced and created through strength. Endure, adapt, survive. Decay must end. The aspirations will keep fanning the flames of revolt. People dream of revolt. The aspirations continue to observe the situation with growing concern. Eventually something snaps. Perhaps it was the rationing of water and the cancellation of the regular aid shipments, or the police raid gone wrong, the body bags stacked in the street. Either way, the aspirations of Reverie choose to act together. When nightfall, the population dreams of nothing but revolt. Justice achieved at the end of an improvised baton. Tabletops fashioned into riot shields. Overthrow, revolt, resist. Planned obsolescence of a bliss crystal. We can't do that. We missed glimmers of hope, I think. Alright. All is lost. Doesn't feel good to see this. The tide is turning against the people. Whether through fear, suffering, or both, MK remains ahead. Their stocks, recently in an all-time low rally. Investor meetings end with smiles and handshakes. Alma remains off net. No journalists visit. No stories are posted. Feelings of hope and determination fade. The world appears to move on. Quiet. Hidden resistance. Locked. Glimmers of hope. Fire can be tamed, but it won't be extinguished. Just as the final glimmer of hope appears to sputter and die, a cinder catches. A newborn glow possibility pulses faintly in the dark. Fragile, vulnerable, but there. Did I do this? Did I inspire this eucatastrophe? What is a eucatastrophe? Bear with me, I need to look that up. Eucatastrophe. A sudden and favourable resolution of events in the story. A happy ending. Oh! Okay. That's a new one on me. Was it the aspirations working as they promised? Or was it the simplest explanation? Pure dumb luck. All we have is bliss, but she is who we follow. Bliss taking away people's fun. That's sure gonna prove a point. After a while, it's too much for even the most loyal Athena residents. People begin to leave. First the wealthy taking their private planes and yachts from this sinking ship. Then the middle class, coffee shops close, co-working spaces disappear. Finally, even the poorest are forced to abandon their homes. The economy falters and crashes, leaving little intact in its wake. Shaking MK, people will flood the streets. Soon the story of Elmer residents is everywhere. Opinion pieces extol the virtue of grassroots activism. Right-wing hacks scream on the right to bear arms. And the courage of the Elmer residents against the woke mob of Mono Konzern.
Has anyone seen Jade?
She left with the last group, heading to New Elysia.
Oh, I told her to wait for me.
She didn't want you out there. It's gotten intense.
But it's alright that she's outside. She's allowed to risk her life.
She knows what she's doing.
I know. I just hope she's okay.
No one likes to see their lover go to war. The words, "A world unites behind the residents in their fight." But the opposition, the end, has come at last. A new tomorrow. What will it have in store? Across Athena the air clears. Breaths are drawn of relief and sadness both. The skies are clear, the streets free of any security personnel. For a while there is joy. Parties puncture the night silence, cries of happiness and passion, and tears over those who were lost. Jade and Nora confess their love. Angela sits alone with two glasses. She taps her drink against the other and thinks of the man she has lost. Omar takes stock, totting up the precise number of priceless manuscripts destroyed by needless discourse. Yana is Yana. They party and plan, never stopping for rest. But then reality returns. MK is, for all intents and purposes, gone. So what happens next? There's a bit underwritten, honestly, the ending there. But wouldn't be the first tyrants to topple themselves by demanding too much. The hand that fed. MK being gone won't solve every problem. Certainly won't. The news is bad.
No, I'm serious. There's nothing left.
Well, there must be something. Don't supermarkets have I don't know, reserve stock?
Not as much as you might think.
No, definitely not. That's what the supply chain is
Exactly.
for. You know, the supply chain.
Just-in-time delivery. Just-in-time delivery. Food, energy, organised shelter. MK left a gaping hole at the centre of Athena, and until something, government, charities, NGOs, that's non-government organisations, arrived to fill it, there's not much left. Although actually, a charity is an NGO, a form of NGO. For the people, by the people, is truth, power. Never again. Hard lessons have been learned. With MK gone, there remains a real risk to another wolf arriving at the door. Another corporation that seeks to control and dominate. So the first step in reconstruction is to found people's committees. Groups of locals, experts, covering everything from infrastructure, social mobility. Layers of checks and balances to ensure the fist of corporate control never again closes over Athena. People get interested in the auctions. How did they live? Well, after the tale I told, perhaps that is the way they will go. A new idea starts to spread among the people on the island. The news ways failed, so why not return to the old? Oh, the new ways failed, why not return to the old? The typos laid on. Soon Omar, as the preeminent expert on the auctions, is being sought after for advice. How did they govern? Reverie is real, so how can we live our lives in communion with our sister realm? People delve into dream logic. Spend lucid nights exploring their psyche. The prescients test the limits of their powers. Interpretation is difficult, but soon society shifts to accommodate the visions and directions of the dream world. And so we return here. Athena heals. All pain finally fades. Time passes. The months roll by, one after another. Wounds heal, but scars remain. Everyone on Athena bears them now, no matter their former allegiances. But there is laughter on the streets again. Laughter on the sheets, that too possibly. Simple pleasures are had without fear or guilt. There is growth. New opportunities, yes. Capitalism will always seek profits. News travels abroad about recent events on Athena. Now a flock of investors is looking into funding new structures, say some infrastructure on the island. New opportunities arise all across Athena in a flooding
They opened a new
activity.
store. Did you see?
The one sponsored by the car company.
Yeah, we need to be careful. We
Yeah.
can't afford to backslide into oppression just because they flash us a golden smile.
True. They've got great bombar, though.
Well, oh, shit.
But it's like I've said earlier, capitalism works. Unfettered capitalism fails. Resting in dreams. Maybe it'll bring people comfort. Mono Konzern's previous research on dreams led to interesting discoveries, which virtual reality investors develop an interest in. Using a combination of repurposed MK infrastructure, new proprietary software, and a great deal of trial and error, something believed possible becomes reality. Reverie is recreated in VR form, granting access to everyone, in theory. In practice, software and hardware involved will need time to evolve, but first contact is a success. Those like Omar and Ursula, dedicated students of auction culture and religion, are instrumental in the testing phases. Now, Athena's relationship with Reverie need not be filtered and distorted through the lens of a single oracle. In the depths of dreams, people will need to heal. The wounded subconscious of Athena revealed itself in dreams. People are traumatized, they are struggling, there is suffering, even after the worst seems to be over. Much of it runs deep and will take some time to address. For some, sleep brings only nightmares, for others, sleep is an escape. Regardless of their context, the dreams of Athena residents become more and more vivid over time. All of Reverie is captivated by Athena's dreams. The aspirations study them, and some can't help but intervene. The aspirations are agreed, however, their interference will be subtle. As Athena wakes from its collective nightmare, dawn after dawn, it is with quiet, growing sense of hope. It is with the blessing of Reverie, like the love of a parent. It is under the warm, sincere gaze of the aspiration. A new cycle begins. Time has come. Same as Creek. Something has changed. The wind rising from the sea carries hopes and dreams, and its ephemeral currents, soothing Alma's scars. Nexus. In Reverie, the air is warm, the red sky shivering as if in anticipation. Every passing moment is punctuated by the echoes of a steady hearth. For the first time in what feels like eons, I take a breath.
Worked. I made.
You saw the many-faceted future and made it your own.
They're here, all of them. Is this real?
You are here with us. Together. We are real.
Quite the experiment back there. I don't even think I'd have dared do something as batshit as that.
Yeah, Chaos, meet Chaos 2. It's called Harmony.
But it worked, didn't it? Look at what she did.
She risked destroying the fabric of reality itself to shape fate to her will. I am impressed, Harmony.
And now? What happens now?
Now, honey, it's showtime.
The time has come to make my final choice. No more delays, no more indecision. New heart awaits. We only have bliss, and that has been who it was going to be all along, hasn't it? Heart of Sugar. It's fitting that the first aspiration I met will be the new heart. The others fade, and Bliss appears before me carrying 2 steaming mugs of hot cocoa. Smell alone is uplifting.
Reverie needs its heart back, and people need sweet dreams to carry them through the night. Beyond that, there ain't much to be done. Let's just enjoy Reverie and celebrate being alive.
It's more than what you might think. Even fleeting joy can mean everything to people. I want to see Atina smile again. I want people's hearts to feel lighter, despite all they've endured. There's been so much tragedy, so much grief.
I can't imagine what you've been through, Harmony. I really can't. Almost losing Truth way back when was more than enough for me. You've had your heart broken, just like Reverie. Now, we're going to give everybody some relief. It might not always be easy, but that's what I'm about.
That sounds like a plan.
Now let's take the edge off.
Time to party down with Bliss. End of chapter. So we're here. Aura on the VR. Remembering Grandpa. Just be careful that doesn't become your Mono Konzern said.
Hey, Polly, it's me. Guess you're out doing something adventurous. The traffic today was bonkers. It took me 2 hours to get from the studio back to my apartment. I'm so sore, dude. I haven't moved like that in years. I didn't lose as much ground as I thought, though. I can still dance. But my posture is whack. I've barely even stretched in a few years. Gotta build it back up. Oh, you hear about the new virtual Reverie headgear? Just tried it myself. It's, well, I'd call it magical if I didn't know there was real magic out there. Where there's demand, Neo MK is happy to supply.
Neo
Except
MK.
prices won't come down until the next quarter at least. It's a way better use of the egregor than before, though. There are actual regulations on how it's used. It's a start. Anyway, not my problem now. This new job's a godsend. Fewer hours, less moral compromise. And that title, Head of Urban Planning. Guess the new government's gotten desperate. I kid. I'm very good. At least they didn't hold it against me. My part in the riots. They understand it was necessary. Kinda miss the MK Moolah, but hey, I don't feel like shit as much either. If we both manage to save up, we should grab a couple of those headsets. Hang in VR sometime. Maybe you can give me a tour of Reverie. Well, I'd better go. My glutes are screaming. I need my bed, like, now. Talk later, Paul. Love you.
And there we are. Harmony, The Fall of Reverie. Dontnod Studios, Paris. Alright. I enjoyed that. I thought the ending seemed a little bit rushed, but it was good. And the story throughout was good. I will say, for my liking, it was one of the weaker Dontnod games. But that's because the other ones are so strong. This one did not bring any tears to my eyes. But it was interesting philosophy, interesting political exploration. Nothing too deep, but certainly enough to get your teeth in. I've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching with me. If you'd like the channel to grow, hit the like, comment and subscribe. And I will see you around. Very well.